Your golf cart is slowly destroying your knees. I know. That sounds really backward. You've got knee arthritis. Walking sounds like it's punishment. The cart sounds like a responsible move. Your knee hurts, so you should load it less, right? That's simple math. Wrong. And the science on this is very, very clear. My name is Dr. Gayan Poovendran. I am a medical doctor specializing in sports and regenerative medicine. And for the last 15 years, I have helped thousands of golfers conquer their knee pain without resorting to invasive surgery. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you exactly why walking the golf course is not just safe for your arthritic knees, it is actually also medicine. I'm also going to give you one specific question to ask your doctor that will completely change how they talk to you forever. Before we get into it though, if you want something that you can take to your very next round, I have put together a free 5-minute guide designed for golfers with knee pain. It is called the Ready for Tee Off Guide, and you can grab it right now at readyforteeoff.com. It is absolutely free. It is my gift to you for watching these videos. There's no strings attached, so go grab it, come back, and I'll be right here. All right, let me tell you about my dad. My dad is an avid golfer and he is a walker. He was a walker. He was retired, so 3-4 rounds a week, every day, bag on his little trolley, walking 18 holes, no riding cart. Didn't even think about it. And his knees, they weren't perfect. He's in his 70s, but he had some arthritis. But he was still out there playing week after week, playing, moving, living, enjoying life. Then he joined a country club, and that country club encouraged riding cart use, and somebody convinced him to buy a golf cart. Made total sense at the time. His knees were just bothering him a little bit, so the cart, which was fun, felt like the smart and careful choice. Remember, rest the joint, reduce the load, let it heal. That's what you would assume. And that's probably what somebody told him. And remember, my dad is a doctor, so he does have some basis of knowledge in this. But within a few months of switching to the cart, he started talking to me and mentioning something in our conversations that he had never really complained to me about before. Subtle knee stiffness, a new kind of nagging, pain that didn't used to be there. It was not something dramatic, but it was different. It was worse. Now, maybe it's just a coincidence. I can't 100% pin the cart as the sole cause. Maybe he took a bad swing. Maybe he did something else. But what I can tell you is that his experiences line up exactly with what research shows. And that advice that led him there, which was protect it, rest it, avoid the load, that advice is everywhere. It sounds responsible and it sounds super careful, but for most golfers with knee arthritis, it is exactly wrong advice. Here's the misconception that people believe. They believe that movement damages arthritic knees, that if your joint hurts, you reduce the stress, you rest it, you let it recover, right? That sounds intuitive, but your knee is not a machine that wears down with use. It is a living, functioning biological system, and that system runs on movement. When you stop moving it, you don't actually protect it, you starve it. All right, let's get into the data because this is where things get really exciting. In 2019, researchers at the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, this is one of the leading rehabilitation research centers in the country, they published a study that looked specifically at golfers with knee osteoarthritis. And by the way, when we say osteoarthritis, it's just the most common form of arthritis. That's what happens when the cartilage inside your knee starts to gradually break down or thin over time. So think of it just as the cushioning in your knee getting thinner. They took 10 golfers with knee arthritis. They had them each play 2 full 18-hole rounds. The one round they walked the course, and the other round they used a golf cart. Then they measured everything. They measured step counts, heart rate, blood markers for joint inflammation, and also pain levels. And here's what they found. The golfers who walked, they averaged over 12,000 steps per round. The cart riders, they got around 7,000 or just over 7,000. That's almost double the movement. Walkers also spent 72% of their round doing moderate to vigorous activity. The cart riders, about 33%. But here's the part that scares people. Yes, the walkers had slightly higher pain scores at the end of the round, but, and this is the critical but, the difference between the walkers and the cart riders was not clinically significant. What we are talking about is a 2.1 point over a 1.5 point increase in pain on a 10-point pain scale. You know, we at the doctor's office say on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain do you have? So the walkers, their pain went up 2.1 points. The non-walkers went up 1.5 points. That's only a difference of 0.7. That was not a meaningful clinical difference. The lead researcher, Dr. Prakash Jayabalan, he said it really plainly in his findings. Walking provides the best health benefit in golf. I mean, look, the study's own hypothesis, what they were expecting to prove was that walking hammers the joints. And then the basic data looked at them, turned around and said, yeah, brah, no. Here's where it gets even better though. In 2022, researchers at the Baylor College of Medicine, they published a large study in the Journal of Arthritis and Rheumatology, and they tracked people that were over the age of 50 with knee arthritis for over the period of 4 years. 4 years is not a short-term snapshot. It's a real look at what happens over time, right? People who walked for exercise, they had a 40% decreased chance of developing new frequent knee pain compared to people who didn't walk. 40% less chance of having knee pain if you were walking for exercise. Walkers were also less likely to see their joint space narrow over time, which is a structural sign that arthritis is actively getting worse. So, walking doesn't just feel okay on your arthritic knee. It actively slows the disease down. It's actively slowing down the disease. Why? This is the part that I love explaining, because once you understand the mechanism behind this, and this is what I did with my dad, the whole thing clicks. Your knee cartilage, this is the cushioning on the inside of your joint. It has no direct blood supply. Zero, none, nada, zilch. Let me say that again because it is absolutely important. The cartilage in your knee cannot feed itself from your bloodstream like the muscles or your other organs can. Instead, it has to get its nutrients from something called synovial fluid. That's like the water on your knee or water in your joint. Think of synovial fluid as the oil in your engine. It lubricates the joint, it carries oxygen and nutrients into the cartilage, and it flushes out waste products. And the only way that that fluid actually moves and circulates and feeds your cartilage, it's through compression and release, through movement, through walking. When you sit in a golf cart for 4 hours, that fluid stagnates. The cartilage doesn't get fed. It doesn't get its waste flushed out. It gets stiff, and over time, it starts to get worse. The cart feels like protection, but biologically, it's the exact opposite. And then, just last year, a 2025 study out of Stanford University, NYU Langone, and the University of Utah published in the Lancet Rheumatology Journal, which is again one of the most prestigious journals in medicine, and it showed that even small changes in walking technique slowed cartilage degeneration and reduced pain by 2.5 points on that 10-point scale. That's the equivalent to taking an over-the-counter pain medication just from walking, and walking differently. This didn't involve pills, no injections, just from walking. So walking was medicine, movement was medicine. So what do you actually do with all this information? Well, first, if you've been riding the cart out of fear, give yourself permission to start walking the course again. Not all 18 holes on day one, especially if you've been off your feet for a while. Start with 9. Let your body adapt gradually, build up gradually. This is how you exercise a joint responsibly, not by avoiding it. Also, I love shoes, so I'm gonna plug shoes here for a second. Footwear matters more than most golfers realize. You want a golf shoe that has real lateral support and a firm midsole, not just cushioning that feels good for the first 5 steps at the store. You need a stable platform that reduces the side-to-side stress on your knee with every step. This is a small investment that pays off over thousands and thousands of steps per round. Remember, walkers get 12,000 steps a round. If you're riding the cart, it's still 7,000 steps. Now, I want to be direct about something. For some of you, the arthritis has progressed to the point where walking hurts enough that you want to get there, but you need a boost first. And that is a real problem. And that's exactly where I see the system fail most people the most often. Most of you that are in that situation, you have been offered 2 things. you've been offered cortisone injections, or you've been offered a surgery. And look, for certain situations, cortisone has its place for short-term relief. But here is what your doctor may not have had even time to explain to you. Cortisone is essentially a mute button for the pain signal. It does not help repair the joint. It does not slow down your disease. Quite the opposite. Repeated cortisone injections over time have actually been shown to increase and accelerate cartilage breakdown. So yes, you feel amazing and you feel better for 6 weeks, but then you're back in the doctor's office and asking for another shot when it's too soon, and the problem is quietly, or maybe not even so quietly, getting worse. Fortunately, there is a better path. PRP, or platelet-rich plasma, is one of the most well-studied regenerative medicine options that we have for knee arthritis. Here's what it is in plain English. We take a small amount of your blood from your arm, we spin it down in a centrifuge and concentrate the healing proteins and growth factors, and we inject that concentrate directly back into the knee joint. Those growth factors and the platelets, they signal the joint to reduce inflammation, to repair tissue, but also to actually help regenerate the tissue. A January 2024 review in the Annals of Medicine and Surgery actually analyzed 42 clinical trials involving nearly 3,700 patients. And what they found was that PRP outperformed cortisone, PRP outperformed hyaluronic acid, and PRP outperformed placebo injections for knee osteoarthritis. And critically, unlike cortisone, PRP patients showed the lowest progression of joint disease at 1 year follow-up. So not only did it help the pain better, but it also slowed down the destruction happening in your joint. The goal with PRP is not just to reduce your pain so you can tolerate the cart. The goal with PRP is to get you back on your feet, get you back walking, get you feeding your cartilage and slowing down the whole disease process down at the source. Remember, the root cause. Here is your one action for today. The next time you see any doctor about your knee, whether that's your primary care doctor, an orthopedist, a sports medicine physician, I want you to ask them this exact question, word for word. Doctor, is there any peer-reviewed evidence that walking is harmful to my specific knee condition? Or is the rest that you're recommending just a general recommendation based on habit? Watch what happens. A good doctor will engage with that question, even if they don't know the answer. They'll say, actually, the evidence strongly supports movement for most cases of knee arthritis. Here's what's right for you specifically. A doctor who ignores the question or brushes it off or just says, no, all you need to do is take it easy without any other explanation, well, that's useful information too. It tells you what kind of care you're gonna get. Your answer or your question deserves a real answer. And now you know enough to demand one. Look, my dad, the anesthesiologist, the pain management doctor, eventually he started walking the course again. It took a little bit of convincing, but once he understood that the cart wasn't protecting him, it was just making it easier to stagnate, he came around. Now he calls me on his morning walks when he's walking 2.5 miles when the weather is good. His knees are thanking him for it. You have the same choice. Now, if this video changed how you think about your knees and your golf game, share it with one person in your life who needs to hear it. And also, don't forget to follow this channel, because every single week, I'm going to bring you evidence like this that your doctor may not have had the time to explain to you in that 4 to 5 minute office visit. I'm Dr. Gayan Poovendran. I'll see you next time, pain-free in that fairway.